Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. Some of my recent messages have been out of Psalm 23, and I'd actually come out of Psalm 23, but the Lord nudged me back into it. And we're going to look over the next couple of weeks out of Psalm 23 at the whole subject of being weariness. Now, sometimes in life we are just too busy. We have too much on our minds, and if you combine that with little sleep, combination of those factors can cause us to become weary. Sometimes life itself, its circumstances, the situations we face can cause us to be weary. Certainly the COVID-19 situation does make a lot of people very, very weary, and certainly over the last few months that has been the case. Now, the good news is that God is aware of this state of weariness, and he has much to say to help us. Now, a few years ago, a friend of mine, I was in a conversation with him. He held up a piece of paper like this. He said, "Keith, what do you see on that piece of paper?" And I said to him, "Well, it's a completely white piece of paper." So he nodded, and then he drew something on it, and he held up a piece of paper like this. And then he said, "Now, what do you see?" And I said, "Well, I see you drawn a dark dot in the middle of the paper." That was despite the fact that the rest of the paper was still white. And that is sometimes our problem. My focus was on the dot. It was in the wrong place. And certainly when the storms of life hit and it's rough, our focus can be on those waves that the storms bring, instead of the Saviour who comes walking on the waves to help us and to save us from the storm. Sometimes a focus is on our own needs, whereas if we look to the Saviour, he is the one who can come and meet those needs. Author and speaker Max Lucado put it this way once. He said, "We concentrate on the dark Fridays of crucifixion and miss the bright Sundays of resurrection." And the answer is to change our focus. King David understood this when he wrote in verse 2 of Psalm 23, "He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters." Here, note what he says. He says, he makes, he leads. David is writing here that our shepherd, Jesus, is the active one. He is the one who is in charge. He is the one who takes us down the trail, who then prepares the pasture for each one of us. Now, our job as the sheep is to keep our eyes focused on the shepherd. See, with our eyes focused on the shepherd, we can then enjoy the rest and the peace that the shepherd will bring for us. Isaiah the prophet understood this when he wrote, "You will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you." Let me encourage you to do that. Let me encourage you that your focus should be on Jesus, our shepherd. As you keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, the shepherd, allow him to minister his rest and his peace to you. Let me encourage you also to do one other thing. I'll post a link of a wonderful worship song from Bethel's latest album, the Bethel worship group, called Peace. And the lyrics there encourage us to focus our eyes on Jesus. And as we do that, as we listen to the words of that song, allow the Lord to minister his peace and his rest to each one of us. Anyway, God bless you. I'll be back next week with another message on weariness and how the Lord can help us further. Hope you have a good rest of the week.